Hi, I'm Dick Upham, and going to try today to give some hints and maybe some ideas on setting up an aquarium for the fish friends program, the Atlantic salmon. First of all, location. This happens to be in the hallway. So a lot of kids can get the advantage of it, but mostly classroom is the idea, or labs. You need to look at the amount of space in a counter or whatnot to accept the tank, the chiller, basically, so that you have room enough to be able to know. It can be in the new chillers with that has a real flexible hose, so you can move the chiller in several ways. You could put the tank here or put the chiller over there. We're using a 20-gallon tank with a high side, the first thing before they put the tank on, I like to show is insulation that will need to be put around the tank, but on the bottom. So I have a piece of insulation. It can be done painted in black. I like it in black. You can see the eggs better. It's dark for the eggs to develop, which is normal in the stream. And if they die, the white eggs can be seen easier. It needs to be sized so that it has a little space on all sides to receive the insulation that will be put around the tank. Okay, we have the tank set. We'll put in the chiller, and the reason I like the high tank is because the coil is space enough from the bottom. Devised a little clip here that will hold it level, and like that. But have a digital or another thermometer to check the calibration on the chiller. I've seen 2 or 3 degree differences in what you set on the chiller. This happens to be the largest. The school had the 30-gallon tank before, and it needed to have this larger filter pump. However, most of them now are of the smaller type, and they can be put on the side over here instead of this larger one. However, the idea of the filter pumps to help prevent freezing, because these coils sometimes, depending on where you are with trying to get the water level, the temperature of the water, which is critical. I like to have the pumps flowing water down over the coil or the inside, the intake, which frosts up first. That water flowing down over prevents or helps in some ways of them icing up. Icing is sometimes a problem. With this like this here, it's no problem at all. You need to cut the foam so that it will receive the filter pump. So you're really ready to fill the tank with water. The tank should be cleaned. You can sanitize it with a tablespoonful of bleach to a gallon, but make sure and rinse it very, very, very good so that you've got nothing left to hurt the fish. Do you need to put anything in the bottom? I like to place a few round rocks to make just a center area, or two places. Not very large, but enough something like that is adequate. This will allow the eggs, once they start to develop and start moving a little, they'll gravitate to that with the dark bottom. But you don't want so many that the children can't see the development. So just a few in the center like that, it works quite well. If you got two, when they get really moving around, they'll go from one to the other. So it's your preference. You have the ends that go on like that. Then the front, because you want to be able to let the children see it, and some teachers can take it off. Take it off during the day. But what we've done here is make a kind of a little window that can be lifted up by cutting the foam across, lift this up, and the children can see the eggs without taking it all off. The insulation only needs to be enough to help the chiller keep that temperature down, especially at the beginning when the temperatures need to be the same as a stream in the wintertime, which is, close to 34 degrees or in that area. So we even have the 1/2-inch insulation that works with the aluminum foil or whatnot around it. The reason for having this a little bit larger, as I said earlier, was to receive that insulation. The bubbler can be put in the stone or whatever that you have. I always try to place it right underneath that. And again, the only reason for the bubbler being like that is to help the icing, and it bubbles the water up over the coil, so is the coil, and that helps circulate the water. Filters for the filter pump need to be changed every year. There's quite a few different pumps out, so you need to make sure that you know which pump and which filters go, whether they're size C or whether they're the smaller pumps, and which filters, and you can get those at Petco. They carry pretty good supply in different sizes of filters. Hopefully this is helpful. I've had just a tremendous reward in working with the teachers and helping these kids learn more science hands-on.